So the Pittsburgh Steelers just had another roster shakeup, albeit at the bottom of the roster, but they added a Pro Bowler and also a fan favorite, a player that I was really watching big time, just got released. And this is something that I wasn't expecting. And this is the Steelers continuing to make roster moves a week before the 53-man cutoff date. Man, I can't believe that's only a week away. That's on August 26th. And they released a rookie wide receiver who had a fair amount of hype surrounding him. He was one of my favorites in this camp. And the player that I'm talking about is Rock Taylor. A part of a slew of transactions on Monday, the Steelers announced that they cut Rock Taylor, and they also parted ways with defensive tackle Breeden Fehoko, I don't know, man, and linebacker Devin Harper. That wasn't a huge cut. Obviously, I can't even say his name. Corresponding moves. The team signed long snapper Jake McQuaid. That's significant. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Offensive tackle Julian Pearl and defensive back Cam Alexander. So kind of looking at Taylor, he got an injury during the early stages of the offseason, and then he started to turn heads during training camp in Latrobe. But I guess it wasn't enough to crack Pittsburgh's final roster. They just brought in a player that you guys will know to audition for a wide receiver spot. More on that in just a second as well. But we're looking at Taylor just recently, just in this last game against Jacksonville. He logged 33 snaps. 25 of those came on the offensive side of the ball. He did play some special teams. And he picked up 2 receptions for 38 yards on 3 targets. And then against Tampa, he had 16 reps. He caught 3 passes for 39 yards, 5 targets. I mean, the targets led the team, so I don't quite get it. Maybe they're looking at signing another wide receiver and taking him out of the room, but the guy's from Alabama. He originally committed to Tennessee, and he ended up signing with Memphis in 2021, and he had a nice college career. He ended his freshman season with 8 catches for 117 yards, which was kind of a slow start, but then he finished in 2022 with 255 yards, a touchdown on 20 receptions, and then 2023 came. The program had a 10-3 record. He led the team in receptions and yards, totals of 69 and 1,083, and that's to go alongside 4 touchdowns in 13 games as a senior. 13 games, 950 yards, 2 scores, 66 catches, and 11-2 record. So really his junior year was a really nice productive year. He was at the Hula Bowl. He was at the Combine. His times didn't totally sink or help him. A 4.49 second 40-yard dash, a good 10-yard shuttle, a good vert, but current Pittsburgh has said no thank you. They've got 9 receivers remaining on the roster. We're looking at DK, Calvin Austin, Roman, Robert Woods, Scotty Miller, Ben Skowronek, Keyshawn Williams, Brandon Johnson, and Lance McCutcheon. So I'm not quite sure why they cut him. It was kind of surprising to me. But let's get to a big injury during this Tampa game. We're looking at outside linebacker Nick Herbig. He left with a hamstring. That's going to be tough. I really love Nick Herbig this year. I hope he's going to be okay for you guys. But long snapper Christian Kuntz, he ended up with a chest injury. It looks pretty serious, a broken sternum. That is pretty serious. He's going to miss at least 8 weeks. So the organization has to look for a new long snapper. And let's not underestimate how important a long snapper is to a team. It affects everything. It's usually overlooked. Absolutely critical when looking to execute well on special teams. So filling this position is really important. They worked out some long snappers on Sunday, quite a few, and wound up signing Jake McQuaid. He entered the league way back in 2011, so he's been around for a while, but he's a former Pro Bowler, 2016 and 2017, and he's been one of the better long snappers in the NFL for quite a while. Spent the majority of his career with the LA Rams and also suited up for the Cowboys. He had a cup of coffee with Detroit, the Bears, the Dolphins, and the Vikings, and now he is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Bounced a little around since leaving the Rams, but now he's here while Kuntz is out. So you're looking at Pittsburgh having their bye week during week 5. 6 might be an ideal time if Kuntz is a little ahead of schedule. Man, a broken sternum. I can't even imagine playing football, just recovered from a broken sternum, but that's why they get paid the big money. And, he's going to be missed. It's not going to be a perfect transition. It's just a really important part of the game. It's not just snapping the football. They have to be able to do more than just that. And Kuntz has been one of the best guys in the league, getting down the field on punts as well, making a play on the returner, cleaning up missed tackles. Like, a long snapper does way more than snap the ball between his legs. So McQuaid, he's going to have big shoes to fill. I hope that he is able to do so. He certainly has the experience. So let's kind of look again about this wide receiver that I promised you that the Steelers are bringing in. It's going to be a familiar face because you're looking at Gabriel Davis coming in for the second time to audition for the Steelers. He hasn't been signed yet. He met with the Steelers back in June, didn't agree on a contract before he left. It looked like he was still recovering from an injury. He's still visiting teams at that time, but now maybe he is ready to play. Maybe he's fully recovered. Maybe that's why the Steelers are giving him a second look. And this is straight from Shefty. Former Jaguars and Bill wide receiver. I'm going to put up, never mind, wrong film. So bear with me, I'm my own producer. So former Jaguars and Bills wide receiver Gabe Davis, he's flying back to Pittsburgh today. He is scheduled to visit the Steelers on Tuesday for a second time this offseason. Per source, Steelers continue seeking wide receiver help. He's only 26 years old. He was with the Jags last season. Wasn't great. 20 passes for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns in 10 games, 9 starts, and then tore his meniscus in his knee, and that was all she wrote. So, granted, the Steelers are going to continue to monitor this wide receiver market. I can't blame them. The pickings are getting pretty thin. They did call the Washington Commanders about Terry McLaurin. It kind of looks like Terry McLaurin is going to be back on the field. He's no longer classified with a twisted ankle. I think it's a contract issue, obviously, but it looks like with that being rescinded, he's going to end up with Washington, and that's kind of a moot point at this point. I'm not going to talk about Odell Beckham coming into town anymore. I was forced to talk about it because he was all over in the media. Let's not do that, okay? I don't care how many times he's talked to Aaron Rodgers. Calvin Austin, it looks like he's recovered from his oblique injury. He's actually participating in practice, doing mostly punt return work. So that's really good to see him coming back into focus. But kind of let's look at Gabe Davis, who he was in Buffalo. And that's really why he is a commodity. He caught 163 passes for over 2,700 yards, 27 touchdowns, and each of his 4 seasons with Buffalo, he caught at least 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns in 3 of those years. So you're looking at DK and Austin expected to start on the outside. Let's hope that Roman Wilson is able to work the slot. Be just so ideal if he could come around. And we've yet to see the Pittsburgh Steelers play their starters yet. It's hard to see exactly what we have besides just listening to practice reports. Hopefully this third game, the dress rehearsal, you guys are really going to get to see what is going on with your favorite team as you see the starters take the field. That's typically the dress rehearsal. So I'll just hold any judgment until then. I will continue to be here on the Daily of Pittsburgh Steelers News, and you guys have been great. Like and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. See ya.